So welcome back, everybody. My name is Paul, and this is the third I'm making in a series about our companion star Sirius. And I encourage people to watch the other ones first because there's some additional information, but I'll try to kind of keep it current here. I've been talking really basically about some ancient books, traditions, for example, Isis Unveiled and Secret Doctrine and Lost Star, Myth and Time, and many other ancient traditions that talk about our star has a companion. And actually, according to Hindu astronomy, not only do we have one companion, but in the big scheme of things, there are some other things that happen in our solar system as we go around the galaxy. We go around the galaxy almost like this flower pattern. I'll explain to that in a second. Esoteric physics has to do with energy. It has to do with how everything functions. See, the ancient people, some of the ancient yogis and so on that we've all heard about from long ago, they had some incredibly powerful, fantastic things to say because they spent their whole entire lives learning how to concentrate their mind, cleaning their body, disciplining themselves in every way, and observing very acutely with very highly advanced senses. And some of the things that they've come up with are just absolutely astounding. So I'm going to go a little bit into this here. I talked a little bit about our system as a dual system here. Okay, now it turns out that that particular form or wave, that spherical or gyration motion, is extremely prevalent in the universe. That's why we have these symbols, such as the infinity symbol. And literally this is here, there's for example certain patterns in atomic particle behavior that have shapes like this because of the way it all has to do with spin and magnetics and so on. And the manipulation of this magnetic energy is the source of all true science. And first, to really have the science, you have to understand really how it works. And they had an old saying that's still true today, as above, so below. So if we learn the simplest of the simple, what's inside us, what's close to us, and observe, and we go and train our mind, there's a sacred geometry, a spherical geometry that allows this whole incredible system to work, where we have water, we have fire energy, we have electricity, we have light, we have all that stuff going on. There's a fantastic system. And that's what they were writing about long time ago because of their observations. And we don't even know how long it goes, but they talk about what I call the esoteric astronomy, the esoteric astrophysics. And what happens if you have a big system like this, which is rotating through space? Now this is going this way, and this is going through this way, in the really big scheme of things. These are not just objects out there. These are incredibly powerful, amazing sources of incredible energy, just so unfathomable. We look at the stars, we go, well, there's the star, but we don't really quite grasp the significance because, you know, there's a saying in esoteric physics that light is life, light is consciousness, and if people, we go about our day, we forget, look, you know, if it wasn't for that sun up there and the other kinds of light that we need, we literally would not have anything to say, we would not exist, we would not have anything, no brain, nothing. So light for us is literally life. And when that light goes out into, depending on, we know that light, color waves matter, the frequencies matter, the proportions of the waves matter, the time element matters, all of that matters. The various pulsing motions of these fantastic beams. They're, like Sirius, for example, is some phenomenal size. I think it's about 3 or 4 times physically bigger, or 10 times bigger, and 30 times more gravity or something. It's just absolutely enormous. And we get pulled to this in a very powerful way. So there is a cosmic initiation. In some way, our sun is like the sun of this one, you might say. And they say, well, like when it says the sun, the God, our God is going to its father. Well, then, if the sun gets closer and closer to its companion or mother star or father star, then something happens, something physical happens, something with light happens, something with cosmic energy, magnetism, sparks fly, however the system works. And the ancients said that there are 7 so-called planes. And what they're talking about basically is You take a vibration, you divide it up, and you divide it up. Ultimately, everything devolves into one. Everything rests at that one. So that's why this ancient symbol, the circle, and the circle with a point in the middle. Ultimately, everything resolves to one. We have a hydrogen atom, which is basically one. Now, at the base of everything, there's something. Now, there's also other kinds of energy that we can't necessarily touch. They call them, for example, there's cosmic water, there's cosmic electricity, there's cosmic earth, something. It has a certain kind of particle nature that has many different levels according to the frequency. And in order for our dense frequency to work, it has to have all the support mechanism. We know that because if we didn't have the support systems of all the things that gravity and the things that make us tick and everything, we wouldn't just have anything to talk about. So it's all about cosmic physics, and all of this motion and this spinning and this light frequencies and all this soup that we're in allows us to live. And when we actually have physically more light, and that light might be of a frequency, for example, if the frequency of the sun starts to get disturbed because it's been wandering and it's been going through in its path for a long time away from its companion star, and then maybe that sun in some senses is stressed out, so to speak, because it's been the cosmic wanderer, it's coming out of the deep space, and now it's heading back toward getting a charge. It gets initiated, it gets renewed. And this is a tremendous cycle because everything goes on a spiral. Because, for example, if nothing ever gets renewed, then it can't grow. It can't. How do we get healed? Because something is going on in a progressive spiral motion to sustain and make that all happen. And it takes the light, it takes the elements, and so on. So, now, the ancients described one particular type of cycle, which is a very common, prevalent throughout the whole universe. A four cycle, a system, this way, that way, this way, that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. The back and forth, as you see here, we go back and forth, but it's all the way around, back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because just like a four-cycle engine, there's a reason for each one of those cycles. Because in order to create something, there has to be a movement of a certain energy. First there's the prime mover, the preparation, then there's something else, and then there's something else, and there's a manifest. For example, so that's why they outlined the stars and the motion. They chose the symbols to try to describe, okay, in this part of the cycle, this is the type of energy that comes in. This is the type of thing that responds. And if this energy gets combined with this energy, then that kind of thing will happen. It's because it's a way how everything is woven into the fabric of this life. And the ancients said that there were a number of other constellations that are very important for us, and I'm going to go into some of them, but the Pleiades and the Great Bear, and there are beings. This is the idea. Life is light, and there are beings and beingness and awareness of a particular kind on Sirius that happens to be extremely beneficial for our system. We need that. This is like the mother's milk. That's why the ancient Egypts really, their story, their walls are covered with not the religion. It was religion, but it was their science of astronomy, of how things work, and they told a very particular but bizarre story to explain how all the beings work in this system and how energy becomes being and so on. So I have to go on to another segment because of the time limit, but thanks for watching.